Start that recording and start that stream. Welcome to Horsin Around, a dumbass cast. I'm your host, as always, Nick Mercadante, and with me today I have three lovely guests. If you would like to introduce yourselves.
I'm Lul.
I'm Arthur the Aardvark.
I'm Nicholas Mercadante.
I hate you all.
What a classic! What? Oh my god!
You can't beat the classics. Anyways, yeah. Well, what's going on, guys? We were just talking about a beloved children's television show that is apparently going off the air after its final season airs, which is this year or something.
Winter
Yes.
2022.
Okay, so we got a little bit of time.
It was a
I'm
year.
left with the show was Arthur because
Yeah.
nobody said the name. Of it.
Well, Jacob introduced himself as Arthur the Aardvark.
What, you think that we're
You
about to
assume
fucking
that my
say
audience,
shit?
that our audience can pick up on context clues, and I know I can't. So
You assume
You
that you
assume
have
audience?
an
I'm sorry. I shouldn't say that. That's mean. I'm sorry, Nick.
Nick, the only person watching the stream right now is me.
Excellent.
That's not true. I'm here too. Stop lying.
Anyways,
I don't know. Sometimes we get people. We shouldn't be. We can't be mean.
sometimes people show up.
Yeah, sometimes Beekman tunes in.
That's true.
Beekman tunes in. Maddie tunes in.
Yep,
All
sometimes
these people I'm doxing with their accounts because they're mean.
Here's Beekman's phone number and home address.
Sometimes
999 Butts Avenue.
my Norwegian friend rolls in at 3 a.m. his time, and I don't know why he's awake, but
They're Norwegian. I'm sure the
What
sun's
else do
still
they have
up.
going on?
Got him. Yeah, let's stop
Healthcare?
making fun of Nick. Let's make fun of Norwegians.
Fuck them.
but yeah,
Oh,
you guys seem to remember a lot of things about Arthur that I
because it's
just...
a great fucking show.
Yeah, but
It's
like, I was
genuinely-
literally like
if
3 years
I'm
old
thinking
when
about
it was happening. Like,
If I'm thinking, Nick, it ran for 25
no,
seasons.
I
don't
mean
know if
when
you
I
know
was
this, but-
watching it, I understand the whole thing is
last
that
year.
I know
The
the
show
whole
is older than me.
yeah.
Older than all of us.
I think it
Yeah.
it should
Yeah.
Its first episode was October
it's
7th,
older than One Piece.
1996.
be.
Does Arthur have more episodes than One Piece?
Hold on. All right.
hold on.
Arthur.
One
No,
Piece
no,
started-
Arthur was like 250 episodes. There's
One
no way
Piece
it's
started-
close.
Not
One Piece's
episode
manga
counting,
started
no?
like a month before I was born.
Arthur has aired a total of 249 episodes and 6 specials.
And
What the
One
fuck
Piece.
is this?
Look
Slacking.
at that.
Well, One
It's 'cause-
Piece just
It's because
fucking...
One Piece is even worse when it comes to reusing scenes in animation.
Cannot
They don't
believe
even make new
that-
episodes. They just slap that shit
just-
back on there, and they're
I
like,
bet
What's
Arthur
the
doesn't
last
even-
12 episodes?
Jesus
I bet Arthur
Christ.
didn't set up anything on episode 70 to pay off on episode 246.
that's fucking
Bullshit.
bullshit. There's
God, I hate that.
a ton of setup and payoff in Arthur episode.
Yeah.
The only
like,
setup is like they set up like what character, like who characters are. That's it. They don't do like, oh, what's in the background? It's like, yep, that's the brain.
Listen,
Certainly is the
Sue
brain.
Ellen's
and he
just
kids
certainly
aren't
does-
that smart, Lul.
Huh?
Kids aren't that smart.
Look,
I
like we were
I-
talking about, they set up that Buster was having his own show, and then he had his own show,
His own show.
and then he came back a bunch of seasons later. All right.
Okay, I gotta pull up. I gotta pull up this. So you know how it's got like the little bit of like the little blurb about the show when you Google it. I gotta pull up the information on his friends where it just says he also has to contend with his sisters. Oh, that's right. He has like a baby sister. I
Oh,
almost
right.
forgot.
There is a baby
Oh.
sister
I almost forgot.
that never ages, like Maggie.
But loves playing with his friends. Tomboy Francine, Foodie and Best Pal Buster, Super
Hell
Smart
yeah.
Brain, Rich Girl Muffy, and Geography expert Sue First off, the Binky and Francine disrespect is top. Like, what the fuck? There are scenes where they. It's not even like implied. It's basically like Francine likes Arthur. Like,
Yeah.
what? We're just gonna fucking get rid of that shit? And Binky.
That's a
Well,
spoiler,
Binky's a
Jacob.
fucking classic. What are we? We're just gonna.
Yeah,
disrespect
Binky's
Binky
not
like
their
that?
friend though. I thought he was like the bully. Or is he evolved? Or does
Biggie's
he have the
like
character
bully in
development?
Phineas and
He's
Ferb.
both.
In much the same
Yeah.
way that Nelson is the bully on The Simpsons.
Okay.
But,
Well,
I mean, even divulging from, I think genuinely, I think the better comparison is the bully from Phineas and Ferb, where
right,
like
who just hangs
Sure,
out with
yeah,
them.
some early episodes, like he's the bully, but also
He's
like
kinda-
he
he's
hangs around
big
too
and
much to
brawny,
be
and
a
that's
bad
it.
guy. Yeah.
He's just moderately scary looking.
Yeah.
Don't say that about my son.
Yeah, they basically, I mean, it's a children's show, so I think at a certain point they're just like, why don't we just make him a normal character and have him develop or whatever? We can't really have a bully be here for 17 seasons. That is, it seems like a bad
It
look.
introduces conflict.
Yeah. Well, the
I don't know,
conflict
also
is the
having-
everyday issues.
Yeah, like hilariously enough, Arthur is America's longest slice of life anime.
What do you
That
call The
is
Simpsons?
quotable. Holy shit, right there.
Simpsons got too
Definitely a
much shit going
shonen.
on. Yeah,
Simpsons
Simpsons is
sucks.
shonen.
This used to be good. Back in
yeah.
the good old days.
I don't
I don't
know.
know.
Look,
I think we talked about this before, but I watched through all of The Simpsons, and I didn't really have like a wow, this isn't good moment until the very last season where they did an episode
Yeah.
where Bart watches fucking Avengers Endgame early and goes around
Oh.
spoiling it for people, and
Well,
I was
that's-
like, wow, this isn't good anymore.
Oh
I
my
mean,
God.
it's kind of like this. I don't know. There was a good Drew Gooden video recently. That's right. I'm stealing content.
Oh my God.
Where
We're gonna
he
get
was
canceled.
talking about all.
Drew Gooden, you
He
heard him.
watched through
Log him up.
a couple. He watched through basically like the best and worst episodes each season on SNL. And a spattering here and there. And it's kind of the same thing where like people are like, I remember when the show was good, and it's like, I mean, it turns out that every season has like good episodes and bad
Yeah.
episodes, and also some seasons, some seasons are overall pretty not good, but there
Mhm.
will probably be something good in that season, even if it's mostly bad.
Yeah.
Like,
I think The Simpsons is also having a weird, like, almost like a Half-Life thing now, where people are nostalgically like going back to older episodes and being like, wow, The Simpsons really projected or predicted the future of our society, TM. This is what truly makes it timeless. It's just like
Simpsons.
Turns out when
They
you
weren't
throw
really
some
making
shit on the
long
wall-
observations
calls.
about the present.
Turns out when you
Oh,
throw
no.
enough
Look at the
shit at the
magic
wall,
Exactly.
some of it sticks.
Yeah. It's like that fucking YouTube channel that just uploaded a fuck ton of death dates for like famous people, and then whenever they happen to nail one, they just make that one publicly viewable.
Every March, there are Twitter accounts that tweet out every possible variation of what happens in basketball games, and just unprivates when it becomes correct.
That's fucking incredible.
And people can point and go like, this tweet from 6 months ago was correct.
Yeah. Funny
I don't
little
know.
quirk.
Arthur, good show.
I
love
Arthur is a good show. So I never saw the episode, but I remember seeing like a bunch of ads for an episode where they got stuck in a desert and fucking
They
rich
died?
one-
I can't believe
No,
that.
and Muffy like drank or used like the last of the water to wash her hands because they were dirty. And I never got the payoff of seeing that episode.
I mean, look.
And I feel like I've had like a core memory unlocked after 15 years.
Muffy is unironically like iconic character in America. I mean, that's the thing. Like, Arthur also survives as like genuinely a pretty well written show for the most part.
Yeah.
And B, they just make these characters that have like, I unironically will sometimes just be like, I'm looking up Savage Arthur clips because like they sometimes just fucking go for it. Like, oh shit. What
I mean,
who's the friend?
it's all
not
like that
Sue Ellen.
that fucking what was it?
It is Sue Ellen. So sorry to cut you off, Nick.
No,
I'm
you're
just
good.
remembering something, and I needed to put it out from my brain before I lose it completely. Like one of the most iconic lines in television in my mind that I can't stop thinking about is Sue Ellen is at like a it's like a field day sort of event.
I literally pulled up that clip right now because that was
It's
the
so
first one I
fucking
thought
funny.
about. It's so good.
fucking funny. It's literally so Solon was like, "Oh, hey, can I join you and for the race?" And DW says, "Oh, sorry, it's a two-legged race. Yeah, why don't you go? Why don't you go?
Did you mean to say three-legged or did you say two-legged on purpose?
No, sorry, three-legged
It's a
race.
three-legged
Okay.
race for brothers and sisters.
I'm having a stroke thinking about how funny the end to this joke is that I'm fucking it up as I do it.
If you pulled it up, could you drop it in the Horsin Around chat? Lowell?
Yeah, Lowell, can you
Yeah.
toss it in Horsing Around? But
It's so good. I fucking love this clip. It's so
how
good.
about DW says,
Oh,
how about
yes,
you go
I
find
do
a
remember
race-
this
title.
Yeah, how about you go find a
Go find
race
a
for
race for
a
lonely-
lonely child? And Arthur says, no, DW, you mean only child. A lonely child is what you're gonna be when I sell you. And I'm like, oh my god. Whew. There's
Also,
another one.
I can't believe Arthur got the fucking Scarlet Letter episode.
Yeah.
They did what?
What?
Have you seen? Okay, hold on.
Yeah, but also the takeaway from that episode is that they're like, no, you could have used any other words in order to.
Yeah, the problem is not that it's about the Scarlet Letter. It's this clip. Because some of those kids just fucking threw in some G's, bro.
Alright,
There's
am
no
I gonna
fucking
get
way.
demonetized by PBS if I put this
This
on?
is
It's 11 seconds. I'm gonna put it on. Hold on.
Yeah.
I mean, there's Muffy also.
Oh no! Oh no! I'm gonna get demonetized for a different reason now. Oh no!
Did you already play
I-
You Were an Only Child?
No, I didn't play that. I'll
Ah,
that
shit.
we can play on some time. But
Sorry, but anyway, sorry. Going off the tangent that originally started this,
Oh my
Muffy takes up like probably 50% of the.
well, isn't she? She's the
Savage
one with the
Court.
rich parents, right?
Yeah,
Like,
because
she's
she's,
the really
she's
affluent
literally a
one.
rich person, and
So-
she's like, "You're too poor to talk to."
Right, and so that's usually the ignition for a lot of problems for episodes because Muffy's
Yes,
just
because
being
Muffy's
fucking Muffy.
incapable of knowing how a person
Yes.
acts.
Yeah. Oh my god. It's like the when they go savage like that, it just reminds me and I guess they probably did it a lot more in Arthur just by nature of the amount of episodes they have, but I always get called back to that clip that I see on YouTube of Peppa the Pig where she's trying to learn how to whistle and then she's like, I just can't do it. And then she calls her friend on the phone and then she's like, do you know how to whistle? And she's like, no, I don't know how. It's like, oh, thank God, somebody else doesn't know how to whistle. And then she explains what whistling is and then and then her friend does it perfectly.
You put your lips together and blow like this. Fuck.
And she immediately just hangs up the phone, just deadpan. Like
It's so good.
it's just for brief moments like that the writers are just like, oh, we know we can do something fucking fantastic here. Genuinely just great comedy bits.
Shit. Sorry, I got distracted looking up some more ones. There's the classic Muffy line, "Excuse me, why do I have to hold hands with a secondary character?" Where literally one of like the stand-in characters who's like, I mean, like literal SpongeBob, like you're recognizable, but like
Yeah.
you don't have like any speaking roles.
He's like the My Leg guy from SpongeBob. Let me see if I can find that.
Oh yeah,
thing.
remember, Dad, no jokes. With you wearing that suit, I don't need to tell any.
Oh my god.
Where she drives by and like offers to pick up like Buster or Arthur. From
No,
the side of the
yeah,
road.
I'm literally looking at that one. It's
I
Muffy.
don't
She's
need
with
makeup.
her
I'm
car.
already beautiful, but Francine doesn't have any, and she sure could use
Oh
some.
yeah. Well, the one you're talking about is Muffy drives by them in her car and opens the door and says, "Hey Arthur, would you like a ride to school?" And so Arthur and Buster walk towards the car. Arthur gets in, and Muffy says, "Just Arthur," pushes Buster away, closes the door.
No secondary characters in this car. Holy shit. Oh my
But
god.
how the fuck did Gilbert Gottfried get his fucking role on Cyber Chase?
Because he's a fucking legend.
He's fucking great. Look,
He's
if we're
also
gonna-
Gilbert Gottfried on a PBS children's TV show.
if we're gonna talk about fucking PBS shows, like I'll run down fucking
The
every
legends.
goddamn- Yeah, hold on. I'm pulling up PBS Kids right
There
now.
was the fucking Cyber Chase was a big one for me. I love that show a lot.
Cyber Chase, iconic.
Yeah.
Clifford Big Red Dog, iconic.
The new movie.
They had the fucking Clifford the Big
horrifying.
Red Dog.
They had a prequel.
They had the exhibit at the Boston Children's Museum.
Oh.
Which is sick as fuck.
Yeah, not,
really
not
just a
to
really
brag,
big
but
slide, I think.
I'm moving to the city where most of these shows originated. So
Wow, big man.
Made possible by viewers like you.
Moving to the racist city. Let's go.
Is the average wealth of a black person in Boston still $13?
Probably. I
Excuse
don't. I
me?
wouldn't assume
Huh?
anything's changed.
What?
It's
Have you not heard that statistic?
wealth is calculated by your assets and like money you have on hand versus your debt. And because of racist housing policies and redlining.
$27 it was $8. Or 2017 it was $8.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh wait, this is 2015.
Yikes.
Jack,
As
sorry,
opposed
you
to,
got it. You got the fact slightly wrong.
Canceled?
Actually.
As opposed to $247,500 for white households.
God. Oh, okay.
Anyway.
This wasn't on PBS Kids, but I just was
I don't
reminded
want it.
of Time Warp Trio.
Yeah. Fuck yeah. Holy shit.
Yeah, that one was. I'm looking at these. I'm looking at this art now, though. I'm like, this does not look as good as I remember it looking.
Sorry, you're wrong. I love the Time Warp Trio art style. I love Time Warp Trio. Like, look, I remember trying to explain to people Time Warp Trio, and they were like, "Oh, you mean that one on Nick that was about like them jumping through time?" And I don't even remember that show. Didn't fucking watch it because I was too busy watching Time Warp fucking Trio. Time Warp Trio has
Kids had some fucking bangers.
yeah.
God damn. Wait, so this was a Nickelodeon show?
No,
Time Warp
Discovery
Trio.
Kids.
Yeah, Discovery. Discovery
Oh,
Kids.
yeah.
Also,
They had Bindi the Jungle Girl, which I only know exists because I had a friend in elementary school who was obsessed with Steve Irwin and Bindi, and he was
Well,
like,
look, we were all a little obsessed with Steve Irwin because he's fucking Steve Irwin.
First of all, who is we? Because I didn't give a shit about Steve Irwin.
What the
until he died.
fuck? Jesus Christ,
he
you
was
missed
kinda
out.
fucked up.
I didn't know he
missed out.
existed. But he was
That's rough.
he was obsessed to the point of like, I'm gonna marry Bindi.
Oh, okay.
What
Yeah,
the
that's
fuck
where
are
it
you
gets a
talking
little
about?
weird.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and then she got her own show, and it only got worse.
Yeah.
Uh,
well, I got
Kenny the
this
Shark.
one
Yeah,
Can I
yeah,
read a section of this one line for you?
From what?
Sabrina, Secrets of a Teenage Witch is an American, Canadian, Irish, French, Indian. That's it. I just wanted to highlight American, Canadian, Irish, French, Indian.
Is that is it describing the show or the character?
That's the show.
Okay.
Okay,
Wow.
I actually got to list off some actual fucking bangers from the animated series, like original series on Discovery Kids.
Mm-hmm.
We got Dan versus iconic show. G.I. Joe Renegades.
Wait.
Genuinely,
I thought
Dan versus-
Dan versus was on the hub.
Discovery Kids turned.
Oh,
into
it
the
turned
hub.
into the hub, right? And
Yes.
then that's when it got
Yeah.
MLP, and then
Yeah.
the Dark Ages. Okay, yeah.
I don't know. From what you say, it sounds like that time was popping off on the hub for you.
Retroactively, the Dark
Don't
Ages.
get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. Around the same time, Hub also popping off for me. Not the same reason, but honestly, you watch the Hub programming and you're like, this shit kind of slaps.
Yeah.
G.I. Joe Renegades, arguably the best G.I. Joe property in my opinion. G.I.
Okay.
Joe Renegades actually fucking slaps. It runs for one season, 26 episodes, and it does a whole fucking show in it. And you were like, this fucking rules. I love it.
That's all
Oh
they
my
needed.
god.
That's all they needed.
It fucking rules. I love G.I. Joe Renegades. Future is Wild animated series. I remember that one being only good because I like the like Future is Wild weird fucking shit that they put out in like the early 2000s for their like if humanity just stopped existing, well, maybe some weird shit could happen.
Yeah, the speculative
cool.
Anthropology and biology stuff. There's some weird shit
I
out
was
there.
like, I hope the squid people win. And of course, Time Warp. Sorry, hold on. Tuttenstein. Before we get to Time Warp Trio, and I go off about how Time Warp Trio is up there with Liberty's Kids, in my opinion, in terms of like.
Oh my God, Liberty's Kids, dude!
Yeah, we trust me, we haven't even hit that shit yet.
I wanted to talk. I figured we'd wait, but that show fucking incredible. Truly incredible.
I want to hit up Tuttenstein first. Ran for 3 seasons, but only has 39 episodes, and it has a film. What the fuck did I miss that? Shit.
What was it called?
It's just like a long episode special. That's what they count as a film. Tuttenstein. It's literally about it's about the reanimated corpse of King Tut.
Oh wait, I do remember that.
And it's one of these shows where I remember it so fondly, and I'm sure it doesn't hold up as well as I remember it holding up. But like, as a kid who liked Egyptian mythology, it's literally everyone else cared about like Greek shit or Norse shit, and I was like, but Egypt kind of cool shit. And they're like, here you go, here it is. The fish out of water stuff is the stuff where I'm sure that ages like the least well. But I don't know. I just have like a lot of fond memories of that show. I remember the episode where they go to like Nashville with like or no, I think it's like Memphis with Tut because the joke is that they're like, hey, we're taking a trip to Memphis, and you know
they're taking him to the Bass Pro Shop pyramid.
Yeah.
West America!
Please.
The largest pyramid in the world.
Oh my God.
Fucking hilarious.
But did it exist when Tuttenstein was airing? Is the problem. I don't know when they finished construction on that behemoth.
Yo, stop showing me Mabel. He's too cute. But yeah, Time War Trio, unironically great show. It has so many like I can think of multiple just absolute banger episodes on Time Warp Trio, and it's very upsetting to me that it only lasted 1 season because it ends with a cliffhanger, and you're like, it's Clone High all over again. I'm sorry, that's my opinion.
Season 2, baby.
I'll only believe that we redeemed ourselves when Time Warp Trio gets a season 2. We need more Time Warp Trio.
You can never have enough, Jacob. You were asking for fucking Clone High season 2, and now you won't stop until you get fucking Time Warp Trio.
I'm a white man in an affluent suburb. I'll demand whatever I want.
The Bass Pro Shop's pyramid was built in 91. So
yeah,
yes,
so it definitely was around. They could have done that joke.
But that is not the joke they went with. The joke they went with is, haha, get it, there's a Memphis in Egypt, but there's a Memphis in Tennessee as well. Also,
I don't know shit about the Memphis in Egypt.
And they say, we're going to
shop.
visit the land of the king, and King Tut says, but wait, I'm a king. How can there be another king? And they're like, no, he's the king of rock and roll. Haha, we're talking about Elvis.
One of the fucking Rick Riordan books made the same exact joke.
Yes.
We're gonna visit Thoth in Memphis, Tennessee.
Rick Riordan makes jokes about his other books in those books too, where they're like, "Hey, what happens on the other side of Hudson River?" And they're like, "Oh, fucking shit, fuck those guys."
Different gods.
Rick Riordan, you wrote those books. You can't just have. Like, I understand the Egyptians' god would be like, yeah, fuck the Greek gods, but also like, I don't know, like, come on. Anyway, I read the Red Pyramid, and then I never read any other book in that series.
I did the same thing. I did the same thing with the Rome one too.
I had no interest in the Rome one. I got to the conclusion of the of what we'll call the Lightning Thief Saga. I was like, wow, that concluded wonderfully. And they were like, yeah, but we're making more books. And I was like, I have no desire to read this.
The timing on them was just
the two
not
characters I
wanted
to kiss at the end, and now I have no reason to read anymore.
The timing on the follow-up series was just not right for me. I had a younger sister, so I got like the beginning of some of them, but it just did not work out, basically, unfortunately.
Anyway, Time Warp Trio fucking rules. Anyway, Lil, you want to talk about the other show that I think is like in the lexicon of great American television, Liberty's Kids?
Hell yeah, dude.
Yeah. fucking
like
love
this is
those
what
kids.
another show where I know I watched it, but I remember so little of it. But I guarantee if you
Yeah.
start talking about it, it'll unlock deep core memories. Hold on,
I've-
hold on. Sylvester Stallone was in this? What? Hello?
What do you mean?
I'm like one paragraph into the wiki page and I'm already fucking losing it. What the fuck?
Unironically,
Oh yeah, over there.
I don't know if you can tell, but James's hairstyle, Kid Me was like, dog, that guy rocking the ponytail. Holy shit. Keep making it work.
Hold on, sorry. I just gotta list these voice talent. Fucking Walter Cronkite was Ben Franklin?
Yeah.
And Sylvester Stallone was Paul Revere. Ben Stiller is Thomas Jefferson. Billy
Yeah.
Crystal is John Adams. Annette
This
Bening.
show slaps, Nick. What are you not getting?
Oh my, Dustin Hoffman is Benedict Arnold. Michael Douglas is Patrick Henry. Arnold
They were also-
Schwarzenegger is
Just
Baron von
reading the
Steuben.
Wikipedia page, Nick.
I'm just reading it. I'm sorry. As I'm reading, I'm like fucking getting blown away. What the
This show has an actual arc because I don't know if you know this. There was an end to the revolution.
No. What?
Sources say it's still going on today.
Yeah. Well, those
And
those
secondarily,
sources
It will
are
not be
Q.
televised.
And secondarily, it just fucking like there are so many like there's a lot of weird emotional impact. Like when Sarah finally catches up with her dad, you're like, dude, what the fuck? This is like 30 episodes in. I thought her dad was like dead. What the hell? It fucking rules. Like at the start of the show, like there's an entire arc surrounding Sarah losing her locket, and you're like, oh shit, this clearly means a lot to her, and you get emotionally invested in this locket of hers, and you're like, ah, fuck, oh shit, they're fucking putting up posters about Paul Revere's fucking Midnight Ride. It fucking rules. I love Liberty's Kids.
I love it. Yeah, I honestly, this might
You
have
go
been.
down, there's the episode where they go down to Virginia, and you're like, ah, shit, this was a mistake.
Yeah, I assume considering they have a black man as a main supporting character, I assume they touch on slavery in some
Yes,
form.
There are many episodes. where they're
Indentured
like-
servitude, Nicholas.
Oh,
I
of
mean,
course.
literally, like episode 2, they stay at Phyllis
It's really
Diller's
crazy.
house.
They had the first episode and they were like, "Yup, you have it bad, but you're not Irish, so we don't have it as bad." as
Oh
Really hammering the Irish need not apply storyline.
But Nick, to go to your question, literally episode 2, they go to Phyllis Diller's house. Phyllis Diller is a famous American poet. And they're like, yeah, shit, what's his name? Why can't I remember all the characters' names from heart?
Because you watched it when you were
Moses.
like 4.
Moses is gonna hide them because they're being basically chased by the Redcoats at this point.
Okay.
Moses.
And so Moses is like, "Hey, don't worry. I know Phyllis
You're
Diller.
guarding the Red
I don't
Sea.
know her personally, but she'll help us." And so they go to Phyllis Diller's house, and they're like, "Hey, you're a famous American poet, Phyllis Diller." And she's like, "I am." And they're like, "Hey, you're like enslaved. That's kind of weird." And they're like, she's like, "Yes, I am currently a slave. While I am educated and have the ability to write and potentially one of the most famous American poets of my time, I am enslaved."
Ooh! Well, I mean, kudos to them for not fucking avoiding it, which, I mean, would be kind of next to impossible for a show
There's
that's
an
like...
entire episode where Moses goes down to Virginia to try and rescue his brother from the slave auction. And he's like, "I'm a free black man. Here are my papers to prove I'm a free black man." And the fucking, racist Virginians
Yeah.
literally take a whip, like a horse whip, and whack it out of his hand, destroying it. And you're like, wow, fuck. Well, no.
Fucking horrifyingly accurate. Yeah, holy shit. Was the
I mean,
kid,
it's still
was it-
it's still like a kidified version,
right,
of
obviously, but like
everything, because
They didn't drop any hard R.
Yeah.
you're not watching 12 Years a Slave just in the middle of
No.
Liberty's Kids.
it's
but-
baby's first 12 years a slave.
Baby's first Django Unchained.
Okay, so this is also my fragmented memory showing itself, but was the kid with the black hair that's like one of the main 3, was he
Yeah. He
was
unable to
French.
speak?
No, he's French, so
Oh,
he
just
has,
so he
he
couldn't
has like
speak
a thick
English.
accent, and he doesn't.
Basically.
he doesn't know. So like there are a couple like fish out of water bits with him where
Okay.
like he's like, oh, what do you mean by? Yeah, he doesn't sound like that. I'm sorry. But Henri is another character. Like that's another like episode 2 story where they're talking about like the complicated history of America's past about indentured servitude and slavery. Where Henri was literally like, yeah, my parents couldn't afford the ride over here, so we were indentured. So we went into indentured servitude with the captain, and then like disease broke out on ship. My parents died, and then I was basically in perpetual servitude to my fucking horrific captor.
Hooray!
And then like there's like the flashback story is they basically were James and Moses were picking up a part from a printing press part from the ship, and instead of they left the part there and used the box to sneak Henri off ship. Anyway, there's also a lot of Ben Franklin being like, "Hey, Britain, could you like not be these fucking dicks?" And the Parliament
like a
being like,
major
"Fuck you,
character.
bitch."
I want to see
Yeah,
a
because
show
they
that
work at
accurately
Ben
displays
Franklin's
Ben
print
Franklin
shop,
as a
so-
man
Oh
whore.
yeah, because he was. Yeah, they
Ben
should
Franklin
have.
fucks no bitches in this show. It's wildly inaccurate.
Not even worth watching. That's what I'm saying. I want a show where he does.
Where's
That-
the Liberty's Kids like Rule
I
34?
want a show
with
where
Ben
like
Franklin
a
fucking?
season-long plot line is Ben Franklin has syphilis.
Oh wait, counterpoint. The problem is if someone were to come back and say, "Hey, we're redoing Liberty Skits," I'm like, "Yeah, yeah," and they're like,
Yeah,
"And we're
yeah.
making it dark and gritty," I'd be like, "I guess I'm done with
Mark Nicholas Cage.
everything. It's time."
We don't
Hey,
need
look.
things to be dark and gritty anymore. We could move beyond dark and gritty necessities, which I think we
unironically-
are.
Sorry, I keep saying I unironically like a lot in my lexicon, but it's my new fucking shit that I've added to it. But I don't know. All the TV shows and stuff that makes me feel like there's so much stuff that I watch now where I'm like, oh, this was good because it wasn't fucking boring, dark, gritty shit that has no like don't get me wrong, there's plenty of dark, gritty shit that I'm like, oh yeah, I can get behind this. But like so much of it is just like, we made the saturation go way low and now it's good. And I'm like, no, that's like you have to write something.
We've covered
Like,
all
you
of
could
our
arguably
actors
say-
in a thin layer of dirt.
Yeah, you could arguably say that Pig is dark and gritty because it deals with a very dark subject matter.
Yes,
Uh
a man losing his pig. Very dark.
yes, but but it's
I know,
it
I
succeeds
know.
as being an actual dark and gritty thing. It's not really gritty, but like it's an actual dark subject matter because it uses metaphor through the writing to express to the audience something and reach a conclusion that is not necessarily happy, but is melancholy. Now you could say Pig doesn't really have like, well, you know, there's technically like a silver lining at the end, but like even in things that don't have silver linings where you're just like, wow, this is objectively not good for the characters. Oh, it ended. Like there needs to be purpose behind it. And I just like things that's, I don't know. I'm glad that there are still some people who are like, yeah, but what if we, it's kind of with the Wholesome Games Direct shit where like, a lot of people were just like, yeah, what if we just like made a bunch of games where there's literally like no conflict? And I'm like, thank you. I'll take it. No conflict sounds good to me. Because
Yeah.
sometimes you just want that. Like, of course, that's not whatever you want all the time. But like,
Yeah.
I don't know.
But what
Sometimes I feel like,
Sometimes I just want to watch two childhood friends fall in love and have nasty sex.
Yeah, and sometimes
not what
I
I
just want to
asked.
see Ben Franklin talk about slapping cheeks every day. All right.
I mean, look, Ben Franklin do carry big dick energy in Liberty Skits. I'm not gonna lie. He just fucking walk
As
around.
he should.
There are like scenes where he's literally like fucking having a party in Paris, and they're like, "Oh, Ben, Mr. Franklin."
Oh my
It don't
God.
sound like that. I'm sorry.
in another in a somewhat related side tangent about other like American Revolution historical fictional media. I never finished Assassin's Creed 3, but I do remember in the prologue when you could talk to Ben Franklin and they just put in a very long dialogue of him explaining how fucking Older Woman is the play, because I don't even want to remember what he went into detail about, but that is like just something that is stuck in my mind, and I don't know why of that playthrough of Assassin's Creed that I didn't even finish, but that was that was just in the game. They decided to just be like, yeah, well, this is the historical accuracy we're gonna hit hard on. Is that fucking Ben Franklin has opinions about fucking every day.
Ben Franklin has very important opinions about fucking. Thank you very much.
Absolutely correct.
Oh my god.
Nothing but historical accuracy for our children.
But yeah.
I like Liberty Kids.
Liberty Kid's good. Liberty Kid's good.
And
Liberty Bibberty.
Liberty Bibberty. Yeah, there's a lot of shit that happens in that show too, and I just kind of like it. They try and focus on a lot of different stuff that happen.
Mm-hmm.
You know what my favorite show was as a child?
What?
Ancient Aliens.
Shut the fuck up. You
Somebody take
aren't
Jack from the
serious, are
call.
you? Did you actually watch that as a kid?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Dude,
Oh,
I owned the
fucking
first season on DVD. It started kind of late.
Oh my
2010?
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
not that old. I mean, it's definitely old.
I guess I would have been 11. Yeah, that checks out.
Yeah, there was like, I mean, I watched all these like these animated shows, but I was also big on like I guess like your friend Lowell, the fucking Steve Irwin Animal Planet shit, top tier. And for
Do you remember the top 10 sorry to just fucking diverge, but do you remember the top 10 like episodes that Animal Planet would do? Where like they'd be like top like the Animal Kingdom, who's the best at jumping or some shit like that.
Oh
It'd be, like, a
yeah,
top 10
I was gonna
rundown.
say there was a version of that. Do you remember The Most Extreme?
Yes, that's what I'm
Oh,
thinking
that's
about.
what you're
That's I'm
talking about.
thinking
That
Yeah, yeah.
show. So you know how in that show they would always like do these really horrific CGI abominations that were taking the characteristics of the animals and throwing them onto humans? That shit gave me nightmares every time, but I kept watching the show, and I don't know why. I was.
So you could have just you could have simply stopped.
I
That
could have
wasn't
stopped.
No.
It was like watching a car wreck. Quite like I think that is probably the best like analogy I can make to why I kept watching that show.
Yeah, but this is like a car that you actively keep turning on every day.
I know, but I have to know who is the best jumper. Okay, I
You just
don't
Google it.
know.
You could just say.
We
"Who's the
didn't
best
have
jumper?"
Google back then.
Shit.
I didn't know about Google.
Why would I
Okay, there
take
you
the
go.
easy way out?
Bing it.
Yeah, that definitely did not exist back then.
Yeah. Well, so I watched a lot of like History Channel in elementary school.
Mm-hmm.
Like I remember watching multiple episodes of something one day about how strong crossbows were, and the image of a crossbow bolt punching through like 7 copper helmets at once really stuck with me. And then that turned into Ancient Aliens.
Somehow.
The show
So-
just became Ancient Aliens.
Around the time
History
Ancient
Channel.
Aliens was starting up, it was around the time I stopped watching History Channel.
Yeah, that's what
So
should
you
have
stopped
happened.
caring about
That's
the
not what
real
happens.
history.
Yeah, look, we as Jack's getting, well, we all make decisions in life, and sometimes they pan out, and sometimes they don't. You know.
Fuck. There was
Blaming the History Channel for my radicalization.
there was a very small like period of time in my life where I got really into cryptozoology, and I think that was due in no small part to the cryptozoology stuff they were putting onto Animal
Of course.
Planet and
Yeah,
Discovery
yeah.
Channel.
Look, as much as I can clown on Jack, look, don't get me wrong. I've watched some of those fucking History Channel documentaries.
They're spectacular. Oh my
You
god.
put some fucking respect on their name, god damn it.
God, I'm trying to remember. There was
They're so awful.
a book that I read that was about I think it was about Makile Membe in the Congo, but it had like some kids like with some really like almost like a fucking like DuckTales, like Uncle Scrooge is this rich eccentric
DuckTales, ooh.
billionaire guy, and then these kids stumble upon his antics, and like but it was like based in real life with these kids that like went on the search for this mythical creature in the Congo. But yeah, there was
Sounds like a bad Michael Crichton ripoff.
probably that sounds about right. But and there was some animated kids show that I can't remember the name of, but I don't know what network it was on. But it was also like a show based around cryptozoology. I don't know. But you guys think any cryptids are real? Do you think any of them are out there?
I'm gonna
Yeah,
go
probably.
on a
Yeah, I
limb
hang
here
out with
and say
Mothman every
probably
day.
not.
There's some shit. There's some shit in the ocean.
There was a.
I mean, that's the thing. It's like most crypto animals are like, they're just like shit that we just like missed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like usually they're like I mean, it's kind of like the same thing with, we were like, dude, mermaids, that's fucking crazy, and then like we took 2
Like,
seconds
oh,
to
it's
like
a seal.
double check, and they're like, ah, shit, that's not a mermaid, that's like just a sea animal that just like hangs out near the surface. Okay,
Tell
we
me
fucking
that
figured
all
that.
these sailors were like fucking just absolutely down horrendous
Horny
for the
for-
sea.
Apparently, they fucking
Why would you-
mistook
no,
manatees for mermaids at some point, so they
Yeah.
must have been really down bad.
Why would you think that? Why would you think that a bunch of guys on a wooden boat traveling across the
Yeah,
ocean
I'm
for
not
months
saying-
on end, never seeing another human being?
They're seeing I was just saying at least the other dudes on the boat before, like maybe it's a fucking
You
manatee.
can't clap your homie's cheeks in the 1700s, Lou.
You can't clap
Look.
an animal cheeks in the 1700s either.
Jack,
Yes, you could.
Yes,
So
you
you
could.
could-
You,
maybe on those-
you would have gotten
maybe on
away
those
with
fucking
it.
weird puritanical voyages the fucking weirdos in Massachusetts made. But look, I don't know.
The
You read
liberals in Virginia.
I think about like 2 seconds about like voyages to the new world, and I'm like, dog, those boys they will fucking. There's zero chance they didn't.
Those sheep,
Look.
the sheep they brought over.
Oh,
We literally
stop.
can hear.
Rough.
We can literally hear sea shanties about like they're like, man, like I don't know. Sometimes you just see your like fucking
But being
deckhand,
that
and you ask
horny.
for his deckhand, if you know what I mean.
Oh my
Your deck in my
god.
hand, if you know what I'm saying, brother.
Oh.
Mm.
Now we're talking. Time Squad. Time Squad's the show that a lot of people watched that was on like Cartoon Network, but it wasn't Time Warp Trio.
Time Squad.
It had 2 seasons, and anyway, Time Warp Trio has an actual overarching narrative that's fucking insane.
Oh,
Also has one-
this looks like a Cartoon Network. Fucking.
Time Warp Trio
Jokey
also
Joe
has one of
show.
my. Sorry to bring this back to Time Warp Trio, but I'm going to talk about other children's television.
you're not.
programs, but
No, you're
gotta-
not.
You're not.
No, you're
I
not.
gotta hit on Time Warp Trio one last time. Time Warp Trio literally has one of my favorite interpretations of the quote unquote end of time, where it's not even really like the end of time. It's almost an undesignated space, like point in space time, because like there's no real defined beginning or end, and it's
Mhm.
just a fucking diner where historical figures end up if they're lost.
Wha-
So
what are you?
Like,
it's great.
just
Lost how? How do you get lost
anywhere?
and then
Like-
end
like
up
if-
at the end of
if you
time?
take the wrong turn, or like
Wait, because time travel exists. If you mess up the time travel and don't go to a specified
this
point
is
in time,
just the TVA.
you're right, Lul. It's just the TVA.
Marvel
This is the
invented time
TVA.
travel, guys.
Those hucksters down at
The
This is
restaurant
just
at
the
the end of the
TVA.
universe type shit.
where's it happens in the it happens in the episode My Big Fat Greek Olympics, where they accidentally try and
the
return
middle.
home, but then they the team gets split up, and some of them get sent to the diner and some of them don't. And what happens is that the diner, you pay with time, kind of like that movie In Time that was bad, but this time it's good.
Wait, what movie?
There's a movie starring Justin Timberlake called like In Time or something like that.
Oh, with the tattoo?
Yeah, that one.
Yeah.
Oh, is that the
it's really
tattoo
bad.
that says how much time you have left or something?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Oh my god, this movie. Oh god.
Anyway, I've accidentally found the full episode for My Big Fat Greek Olympics.
And we've lost Jacob,
Great
guys.
episode.
Yeah, we'll see
no,
you
sorry,
later.
I just-
Queuing up right now.
I'm trying to pull up the diner.
Let's see.
Come on, give me an
Oh, I
establishing
have
shot of
something
the
I wanted to
diner.
bring up.
Give me an establishing shot of the diner.
People stop. Oh yeah. When did this movie come out? Fucking
Classic
2011.
episode. Classic episode.
Damn.
Great episode. The Flash animation doesn't really hold up that well, but it's still classic.
What? Are you telling me Flash animation is not what could do hot in the year 2021?
You shut your whore mouth.
You shut your damn dirty
Why is Nick a
whore
whore?
mouth.
Because not
There's the
Nick's not a whore.
Bullock.
Jacob's a whore for saying that Flash animation doesn't hold up in the year of our Lord 2021.
Are you
Anyway,
assuming my whore status, Lil?
Also,
I mean, you
Time
might
Warp
be a whore, I
Trio-
suppose.
Time Warp Trio has one of the best intro songs of like I think it's up there.
It's up there.
It's easily an S tier.
What about Cyber Chase?
I mean,
Cyber Chase is an A tier song.
They just
I love the
fucking
Cyber Chase intro, but
We're getting hacker at these games.
they just found people that just made earworms. They weren't like the best songs, but they were just earworm songs.
I mean, like you forget
I got the power.
Arthur's like reggae inspired
5,
intro
6,
makes no sense for the show, but it's a fucking banger.
Well, yeah, no, that's the thing. It's like most of the time, like the intros to the TV shows were just like they got the most generic description of what was happening in the show, and they're just like, just do whatever the fuck you need to make it rhyme and sound good, and then they just went the fuck off, and it was better for it, you know. There was that fucking. Do you guys remember JetX? Before it became like Disney XD or whatever, they had that show. What was it called? Super Robot Monkey Team Hyperforce Go, and that was literally the entire song was them just repeating the name in like a certain cadence over and over again, and that was like some babies. That was like a gateway show to anime, I think. And I did not get sucked in at the time, but like looking back on it, that thing was very Japanese television influenced and very weird.
Y'all remember Generator Rex?
Yes.
Yes, I do remember it. I did not watch it.
Now that's a show that's animation does kind of hold up.
Yeah. Not an amazing show.
Yeah, that's the one where he's got the.
I did love that theme.
He's got the. He's got the cyborg arms, right?
It was like boneless Ben 10.
Okay.
Yeah, he had the robot shit.
Yeah. There's also that
Remember
show...
when Ben 10 was so successful they couldn't stop making it?
Oh my god.
Oh no.
Well, that's the thing. They hit the gold mine because they just had the creature designers keep coming up with new aliens that they could then market as cool toys, and they just never stopped. So
Man of Action figured out that if they just keep making Ben 10, they can make whatever other show they want as well.
Yeah.
Correct. And then you just do a crossover and it will instantly become popular.
I got a question. Why was Emperor's New School kind of good?
So goddamn good. Do you remember I don't know that whole
thing.
theme song.
How'd they
get away with that? That was a show that I do remember more of because that was they were always running reruns of Emperor's New School at like 6 a.m. which was when I was like getting ready for school in the morning. So I just threw it on there.
That's great. I also love Lilo and Stitch of the series. I feel like that's
it was so cute.
As appreciated, but I don't know. It's literally one of these things where they were like, we need it. It's a monster of the week. We gotta capture them all show.
Yeah.
But at the end, they're like, yeah, but like we can like let them hang out. Like
it was always like cute
that they were gonna blow things up.
Right, because they always get the guys to do something with their talents.
Yeah.
Like at the end of the episode.
It's like, oh, he really just wanted a sandwich.
I mean, don't get me wrong about one of the most hilarious fucking characters in
the animation, the genius, which who wants to make sandwiches.
Yeah. X625, also known as Ruben.
Yes.
Who is genetically, according to the show, genetically superior to Stitch in every way, but does not have the same drive as Stitch. So all he does is make sandwiches. Yeah. And he's like, I don't know, I just gotta like hang out and I like sandwiches. And I'm like, yeah.
And he's like kind of helping out the like what's the big dude's name?
Yeah.
Gantu, yeah.
He's like Gantu's like second in command kind of, but he also doesn't.
He's like coming up with evil plans while assembling a sandwich on the controls of a spaceship that's upside down or something stupid.
Yeah.
Sorry. Occupation, galley officer. Second occupation, Gantu's sidekick.
Stitch. Yeah, let me pull up Ruben. There we
go. Better put some goddamn respect on his name.
Yeah, he's the brains of the operation, you know, by far and away.
I love Ruben. I love that they make Gantu into like Gantu in the original Lilo and Stitch has kind of himbo energy, but he's got too much evil to be like, oh, I love my himbo Gantu. But I distinctly remember in the series, they like make him so much more bubbling that he's just like big meat man.
Oh, I
big
mean,
meat
look at
man
this. Look at this
tension.
thing I've thrown up on screen right now. This is himbo energy.
I mean,
right?
yeah. Look
Yeah,
at that.
yeah, yeah.
Look at that dude. What an
My
absolute
God.
king.
You gotta love it.
Also, I'm sorry. I know that this is a fucking constantly recurring joke, but also, how do we make them know that the alien's a girl?
Pink and titties.
With the.
Oh my god, yeah. I think they like capped this series off with like a final like
Yeah, it was like a
movie
final
of
it
like
was the-
them.
Yeah.
You know, like there was like one more that was like super evil or whatever. It's like 267 or whatever.
Extra evil.
Right, yeah. And they all had to team up to fight him, but it was a cool time. And they also had that was in the era where all the fucking Disney TV shows like did crossovers with each other.
Yeah,
so
it was.
did,
There was a Proud Family. Proud
Remember
Family.
the
Proud
fucking
Family.
the Sweet Life, That's So Raven, Hannah Montana crossover?
Oh
That,
Jesus!
that
Christ.
shit was insane because they were like in universe. All of these shows exist at the same time. Also, there's a shooting star. They all make a wish, and it all affects them. And you're like, wait, hold on.
That's cosmic.
Wait, the implications of
Forget
this.
about cosmic
Oh, no.
Marvel. Let's talk about cosmic fucking Disney Channel
Yeah,
television.
Cosmic Disney is just a superset of Cosmic Marvel.
It's true. If you think about it.
That's true. That's
You remember Wizards on Deck with Hannah Montana?
God,
Yep.
yes, dude.
True. Yep. That was it.
Fucking
I don't. So my problem is that A, I remember liking Wizards Waverly Place, but B, I also
It's
think
bad.
that out of the
It's
shows,
not
Shut
good.
your
it would
fucking
hold up
poor
the
mouth.
least.
You shut. I will not have anybody.
Fight,
Don't get me
fight,
wrong,
fight.
I probably watched every episode of
Oh,
Wizards
yeah,
Waverly
yeah.
Place and the movies.
I actively watched the show, but it really does not hold up.
Anyway, I'm looking.
They have to fight for the power in the family. It's the whole thing.
I'm looking at the list of shows that Nickelodeon and Cartoon Network has in terms of animated series, and I understand this is because Nickelodeon, Cartoon Network always had more of an animation bent than Disney Channel ever did.
Yeah.
But like, just in terms of sheer quality of bangers, it's fucking insane how many fucking great shows Nick and Cartoon Network had over the years,
Yeah.
and still have to some extent.
Yeah.
Like, I know Nick has still like fallen off. Like, they don't
Well,
have.
is the Outhouse Nickelodeon or am I thinking of?
It's Disney.
Oh,
Disney.
okay. They have the. Oh, what is it? The Loud. Is it the Loud House?
That's Nickelodeon.
Okay, that's what I'm thinking
Yeah.
then, because I've heard good things about that show, so they got that going on.
Yeah, they have like the occasional like thing. Dude, what the fuck? Sorry, I just learned that Wings Club ran for 5 years.
Didn't they make a Netflix show?
Yep, and it's bad, and it forgets literally
It's
everything
live
that the show's
action,
about.
right?
I
Yep.
only had to watch the trailer.
Yeah,
and
it
I was
wasn't
like,
good.
I appreciate, I understand. Wings Club, once again, up there in classic Americana shows. So Totally Spies also up there. I
That's
know
true.
that if they remade So Totally Spies, they would do the Wings Club treatment, and I'd be like, it's the dark and edgy comment that I was
I
making.
don't think they
Honestly-
could get away with remaking Totally Spies, because Totally Spies is just like somebody has an entire like list of every episode of Totally Spies and like the fetish they correspond to.
Yes. Yeah,
I don't think you
unironically,
could make that again
Wings
now.
Club, from what I didn't watch a ton of Wings Club, but from what I remember, Wings Club is like there's an actual story in Wings Club, and So
Yeah.
Totally Spies is literally some guy was like, "There's no way they would actually fall for this, right?" And then they fucking send it to the officials, and they're like, "Oh yeah, like a show about girls who are spies. Yeah, it totally makes sense." And they're like, "These fucking idiots didn't read the subline." And then you fucking watch 26 episodes of some fucking weirdos fucking
so
Wow,
much
that's an
hypnotism.
extensive list.
So
Yes,
much
it is
hypnotism.
literally every single episode and what fetishes they correspond to.
Yeah.
One of these just has wants to pee.
Yep.
yeah.
That's the thing.
Yep.
I know.
It's bad. There was I
because there's
literally
one with
I
none.
watched a fucking Your Movie Sucks stream highlights lately where they were watching. They apparently. So you guys remember Total Drama Island?
yeah.
Back in the day, the
Uh-oh.
classic. They put it on Netflix when I started
Yeah.
rewatching that when I was doing something else the other day. Fuck, it still holds up. Love that show. But they did.
I disagree.
Okay, well,
It's not good,
You
but it's not
shut
good
the
in like
fuck
the
up.
best
You
way.
shut
It's
the fuck
fun-
up.
it's
That's when I will
fun trash.
actually fight you
I,
over.
I literally remember going
In
around
the best
being like,
possible way.
maybe this is my own Clone High bias, but I
Okay.
remember going around trying to fucking shill Clone High to anyone who would listen to me, like the insane person I was. Am. And being like, guys, have you fucking seen this show? It's got one season. It doesn't have that many episodes, but it's literally it's so good. And people are like, yeah, Jake, like if you like that, I think you would like Total Drama Island. And I was like, you know, I remember watching Total Drama Island when it was coming out, and I remember having kind of fun with it. Maybe I should go back because like it was during like a Clone High drought, and I was like, I gotta watch it.
Yeah.
So you go back and watch
the
Total
Clone
Drama
High
Island,
drought,
and I'm
known
like,
as literally everything up until a few months ago.
oh no. Like maybe it's because I'm doing a relative check between the quality of Clone High and Total Drama Island, and
Yeah,
that's my own fault.
Every time I see a clip or a screenshot from Total Drama Island, I basically do a fucking spit take.
Now, don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. Total Drama Island does have a great fucking.
Yeah.
Of course, this just goes back
It's
to
funny
argument
as fuck.
where they hired just artists who made bangers back in the day.
Yeah.
But
I don't think it's
really-
just, I don't think it's fair to compare. Like I think you were setting yourself up for failure when you were trying to compare Clone High to Total Drama Island, because one, Clone High had like the levels of humor that they could incorporate by being more of an adult show.
Yes.
Like they
I
got like
think
more
it could
pop
also
culture
be
stuff
that
going
Total
on.
Drama Island is a successful satire of a competition show,
Right.
and I was never that into.
Total
competition.
Drama Island overlaps with a lot of different things for me.
Yes.
Mhm.
Primarily Survivor and all of the game shows my fucking family love to watch.
Mhm.
But the other thing it overlaps with is all of the porn that existed of it in the mid-2010s.
You do know.
Jack,
that
no!
it works, right?
Jack,
The
please.
show, the
Separate
show in
that.
fact, predates the porn. And also,
I don't-
why wouldn't you
I don't
separate it?
care.
It's so good. Why
We're
would you separate it?
re-entering the conspiracy theories of ancient aliens again. Okay, but
There's
I
no
can't go
reason
down
to
this
separate the two, Jack. That just only enhances the show.
It definitely was not a great time, and I think I might have told this story on the show before, but the episode of Total Drama Island where the fucking, was it Heather's or Lindsay's top gets ripped off, and it's all
That
big.
is the finale of the show. Yeah.
No, that's no. Oh no.
Or the- or
I'm
the
thinking
episode before the
before
finale.
that. No, there's
the
because
penultimate episode.
Yeah, when she's on the she's
know
on
about
the on the log on the river, she's like, trying to punch somebody, and like the thing tears off the thing, and then her top
No. I think this one was with Lindsay though, because it was Harold that saw it, and then Harold got kicked
Yeah.
off.
Yeah,
No, he didn't make it that far though. He didn't make it to.
it was.
Hold
Heather
on,
made it.
I
with
found the thing with the
unless I'm-
episode.
unless
It's
I'm
season
forgetting-
1, episode 13.
Okay, yeah.
Unless I'm forgetting, Heather made it to like.
No, Heather did make it to
No,
top
all-
3, and I believe you that her
this
top
was
did.
literally the episode that she got kicked off, or the episode before she got kicked off. One of those.
Right.
two.
No, I totally believe that is something that happened. But then there was a separate second incident where this happened, and I think it was either with Heather or Lindsay, and their top got ripped off, and then my mom walked through the room as that was happening, which is of course the classic
Hilarious.
timing.
Yeah, exactly. Total Drama Island when I'm watching Total Drama Island when
when the parents
dog
walk in,
comes into the
exactly.
room.
You're
But
ever watching fucking what's the show again?
Chowder? Yeah, I do remember watching Chowder.
No.
Oh my
this
god.
This is okay, hold on. What is the fucking
Codename Kids Next Door.
no
Oh,
High School of the
Foster
Dead.
Oh.
And I had to be like, I don't know how this
No.
happened, Father. I was on YouTube and this came up. I don't know.
you
You
can't
can't bring up
accidentally
High
get
School of
into
the
High
Dead.
School of the Dead. Lol,
Look,
what the fuck are you
I
on
I
unironically
about?
watched all of High
can't,
School
I can't
One
look
in
him in the
there.
eye and go, I did on purpose, Dad.
Of course. Just
Yes,
curious
Father.
about
I
the
do
Japanese
bullet
animation I
time
heard about.
breast.
Hold on, wait. Let's take a second of appreciation.
Bullet
Let's
time
admit that
movie.
Lul literally just hit the out of the park fucking grand slam opening of Uh-oh, my parents walked in when you're watching High School of the Dead. When your fucking parents walked in.
Yeah,
Like,
I
understand. I guess you could have been watching High School DxD when they're literally have their like breasts up, but like High School of the Dead is in the same fucking category as that show. So like,
I was like, I don't know how this happened.
I don't know, man. It's
Dad,
just...
you don't understand. They're trying to survive the zombie apocalypse. Her boyfriend died at the start of this show.
She has to use her boobs as a rest for this man's sniper rifle.
You forget, he has to grope her boobs while shooting the mugger. It's the only way he can kill him. That isn't. I can't remember. He
no,
shoots
I
the mugger
know.
and just scares the mugger off, but that definitely happens in this show.
I believe you, 115 billion%. Oh my god. Yeah. Anyways, sorry. To relate this back to the whole reason I got around to Total Drama Island in the first place. They did a lot of seasons of that show. And then they had a spin-off show where there were they were like toddlers. It's called Total Drama Rama. And
oh my god.
And
Total Drama Island went to shit after I think World Tour was the last one that had a shot at not being bad.
Yeah, I don't know. I kind of want to see the seasons after World Tour because that's when I stopped and I was curious. Because then after that is when they got a new cast and that was like, when I was like, oh, they got a new cast. Oh, this can't be good. Maybe I was wrong though. I don't know. But I know.
No, you were right.
I know Total Drama Rama is bad because they on the fucking Your Movie Sucks is just a guy that does like movie reviews and he does streaming now, I guess. But he found a video of a clip from Total Drama Rama where it's very clearly a man with a fart fetish injecting it into a children's television show where there is the plot contrivance is that there is a fairy that runs on farts to survive and then all the kids need to fart on him for him to live. And that is the long and short of the episode.
Remember in the Powerpuff Girls reboot when that guy inserted himself into a relationship?
Oh yes, that was fucked up.
I forgot about that.
What?
The writer wrote himself as a character.
In the Powerpuff Girls reboot show, there was a guy who just wrote himself in as a Mary Sue character that the character he loved then fell in love with because he wrote it that way.
It's pretty funny because going back to Owl House, there was like a weird like trying to cancel Owl House writer for the same thing, and it was like so clearly not the same thing. Where I was like, what are we doing here? Like, I understand Owl House is written by a woman, so Reddit has a problem with that, but like,
yeah,
you can come with like a better argument, like,
there's
yes, the character does look similar to the writer, but also like that's like clearly like partially coincidence, like, also like maybe she just likes writing about that. It's her own original characters.
Which character?
Like that's the difference.
Owl House
the main love interest for Owl House girl, green haired girl.
Amity?
Yeah. She looks like the writer apparently, or something like that. They try to make that argument, and I was like, that's fucking stupid.
Yeah, that's whatever. There is always it's like, there's the percentage chance that the writers somehow did not have a fetish for, like, in these more blatant cases where it very definitely is a fetish, but there's always a chance.
We're not giving them the benefit of that doubt.
But there's always a chance, and that almost is more terrifying to me. That somebody in a writer's room was just like, wouldn't it be funny if this character ran on farts and all the kids had to fart on him?
So this is, like, vaguely adjacent to the point that I made, I think, months ago on the show about how Zootopia is, like, this generation's Space Jam, where you're radicalizing a generation of children into some fetish.
into being furries.
Wait, with Space Jam and Zootopia, it was being furries.
Yeah, but like, I think it's...
Yeah, but once again, it's like...
With iCarly, it's feet.
Context, like that's the thing.
Curse you, Dan Schneider.
Watch out. I'm going to say something insane. Context does, like, matter. And it's like one of these things where it's like, Space Jam and Zootopia almost do a better job at the indoctrination because it's unintentional. Like, I don't watch Zootopia.
Space Jam, it's literally just Lola Bunny's thick as fuck.
Yeah, right, like, but that's where I disagree though, because like Lola Bunny is very much an anthropomorphic character that they choose to sexualize, whereas in Zootopia it's just
the intention of that is boys like boob and butt, so we put that on screen. Not
It's not
toys like
into
boob and butt
furries.
on animal. That's the reason we did this.
Yeah.
Like you can like I'm not trying to say like well sexism in Space Jam isn't real. I'm saying no, it is real. It's just that the intent is not let's get these kids into furries. The unintended consequences of their sexism at the time is we've created a generation of people who want to fuck Lola Bunny.
Yeah, your point is it's not somebody introducing their fetish content into something they're making.
Yeah.
It's an unintentional side effect
the writer,
of something
you're saying
else.
the writers of Space Jam and Lola Bunny were not saying, oh man, I fucking love rabbit
I'm
titties.
saying that Lola Bunny isn't hot in Space Jam because the writer was like, I want to fuck a rabbit.
Yeah. They were
Lola Bunny is just hot in Space Jam for the sake of being hot.
It's kind of going back to the thing I was trying to get to the comparison between the Powerpuff Girls reboot and Owl House, where like people were trying to be like, well, the character feels like kind of a self-insert, and it's like, yeah, but the context of the self-insert is totally different. It's her original characters. B, the character is incredibly flawed, and C,
they're not a Mary Sue.
The romance is a part of the show, but is not the only thing that happens between these two characters.
Yeah.
I mean, making a live-action Hellsing movie.
What's Hellsing?
But it's Amazon, so who knows?
That's
the fucking anime. Yeah, I completely agree. It's gonna be awful. It's the fucking anime about the vampire who hunts.
Oh, the one that fucking Team 4-Star did the abridged series for. That's fucking amazing.
The only way any of us.
Yeah.
I watched the whole regular thing. It's not good.
I'm not surprised, but based on the abridged series,
it's one of the things that just goes off the rails. Like
it's also one of these things where like I don't know, the inception of a live action version of it is
it won't be good.
It won't be good, and like what's hilarious is that we complain about live action reboots all the time, but then I'm like, I hope nothing bad happens to my anime, and Japan is like, live action, we got to put it in live action. I don't care what it is, we're putting it in live action, and you're like, but no one goes to watch these. Are these like all tax write-offs? Like,
I watch this.
Japan's live action are somehow worse than ours.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense.
Weird and not like at least in Cruella, like the dog kills the mom. Like,
I thought they
good live action fucking Battle Royale.
What?
Yeah, but also like
that's also a 20-year-old movie.
Yeah. Shit, what was I gonna say?
Sorry, Nick. You might know Battle Royale as its colloquial name, The Hunger Games.
Of course. No,
except like. Made for 30-year-olds
based off of like a manga?
Yeah.
What was I gonna say?
Yeah.
Shit. Well.
I mean, I don't know if you know this, but M. Night Shyamalan's movie's Old is actually a like comic.
Right.
It's based off of a graphic novel. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was talking to somebody on Twitter the other day about how American media is really, really bad at like cross promotion compared to like anime.
Yeah.
Or like anime, you're like, oh, I'm watching like My Hero. I'm gonna go read like the manga. I've never had that thought about any American property based off of a comic, other than Invincible.
So we're bad at the comic thing, but we're good at the book version of that.
Yes.
Except for I guess if Old's based on a comic,
we're bad at we're not good at translating the books to movies. No. Don't get me wrong.
Absolutely hammer the about to be made into a major motion picture.
Yeah.
But even then, that's on like the sure. Sometimes the trailer will have it. Usually, it's the book screaming about it. But I don't think that there's that much book sales driven by movies that aren't already wildly popular books.
You're right. There has to be an already wildly popular book, but I would say a good example of this would be something like, and this might be me forgetting about the popularity of this book series, but I do remember when the Girl with the Dragon Tattoo movie was coming out. Girl with Dragon Tattoo had already been like a kind of popular book, but when they announced the movie, it got a lot more popular in the lexicon.
Yeah, it's fair. That's the exception. That's like the Game of Thrones.
Well, so I would say that actually happens pretty frequently in like categories that are a little more niche than.
Yeah, I was gonna say like maybe I'm just ignorant to popular book culture or whatever, but like Dune was a book, right?
Yes.
Right.
And now Dune was
been made into a movie before.
Yeah, Dune was made into a movie before, and it wasn't that good. And then now it's getting another shot, and it looks like it's probably going to be good.
Let's
and
clarify that it's also borderline criminal to put Dune into the same borderline not influential category. Dune is literally one of
Dune
the
is
single
one of-
most influential sci-fi books ever.
Okay,
Never heard of it
I
before.
just don't know about
Yeah,
that.
I don't think that this movie's gonna make a significant dent in the overall lifetime sales of Dune.
It will not.
Considering how long that book's been out and how
You
long
don't think
it's
Dune
been
is
out.
influential because it came out in like 1961.
Okay.
I'm
Yeah.
joking, Jay. Calm down.
Like,
No, that's
about
legitimate
Dune's
for me. I've
influential.
never heard of Dune until people started screaming about the movie. So
Yeah, but you don't hear about food outside of like chicken nuggets last time.
Shut
I talked, so, like, what am I supposed to-
I have grown. I eat more food now.
I
Jesus
know.
Christ.
I like as soon as I was
I don't
saying that
know.
joke, I was
Last
like,
time I
this
saw
feels
your
like an
fridge
old
was
American
pretty
joke.
empty. It was like 3 things and one of them was vodka.
I don't know. That sounds like that sounds like the appropriate amount of
Pretty
food in your
good.
fridge.
For a fucking 20-something, just living
Yeah,
living
like,
by
look,
some
themselves.
canned chicken.
I used to be
beer.
like that kid who. Sorry for cutting you off, Jack. Just
I have like 3 things in my fridge and 2 of them are beer. So
Yeah.
I
I mean,
I
the
used to be
problem
one
is
of
that most of the things you saw, like most of my food, ends up just being the frozen food that I just heat up in the toaster oven. I'm not claiming to be like a really good about like making healthy meals, you know, but I at least get like power bowls that have healthy ingredients in them from time to time.
and then you kill it all in the microwave. But
Hey, thank you for the new follow.
you melt
Twitch
it.
Authority.
You got the. Oh my god.
Twitch
The
Authority.
Twitch
make it
Authority.
Oh my
I
god,
forgot.
is
Oh my
Mr.
god, there's
Twitch.
so many people watching.
Uh,
Sean Twitch himself.
It says only 2 on my counter, but that thing's
So
always
there's a lot of
bullshit.
people in the chat.
Oh,
But yeah,
okay.
I used to be that kid who was like, I don't understand this bachelor pad thing. Like, I keep my room pretty clean, and then like as soon as I have my actual home place where
Yeah.
I'm like an actual adult, I'm like, oh man, yeah, I literally got no one. The pandemic also just doesn't help. Where I'm really
Right.
like, who's gonna fucking
Who's
see my
gonna
room?
walk
Fuck
in
this
here
shit.
and see
Oh.
this shit?
My apartment is relatively clean, but that's because I don't have enough space to make it that dirty, or
Mhm.
enough things to make it that dirty.
Understandable.
How
I'm
the
sure-
fuck do I use my Twitch Prime sub? I literally can't use it.
It won't let me either. I need to figure it out.
Jeff Bezos took it to space with him. You're not getting it back.
Like
I
literally,
guess.
it's like only letting me. It's like you only spend real money. You cannot take Twitch Prime sub.
As
Oh, hold on. There's a button at the bottom for use Prime sub that I have to check.
oh, okay.
Where?
Well,
And now I can. So it props me up with like the resubscribe.
Oh, I see.
And then towards there's a
That's
checkbox
fucking
that says
stupid.
yeah.
because they don't want you to use that. They want you to spend a little
Fuck.
bit more money.
Fuck
Anyways,
Amazon.
we've yeah, good, yeah.
As usual,
as we stream on Twitch, fuck Amazon. Anyways,
Absolutely correct. As I order something off Amazon.com.
anyways, we've blown past an hour, and I didn't even get to fucking downward spiral into anti-capitalism hate on this fucking debt buying
It's
bullshit.
fine. You wrote it out, and I was like, I already know how this conversation's gonna go. I've been in my
It's
head
pretty
already.
one note, so it wasn't probably gonna be that great anyways. But look into it. It's pretty fucked up.
Yeah, I'm glad,
I
I'm glad
was
you're learning
gonna-
about it though. Yeah,
I was gonna bring out my fucking insurance and show you how much they're paying for my.
All right, you know what?
Prescriptions.
Actually, yes, please. I do want to talk about this a little bit. So what's
I need
what's
to
up?
remember what my new insurance provider is called.
For our
I mean,
listening
the-
audience,
the
Jack
the
has
conclu-
diabetes, and
the
he's
conclusion of
some
the argument
insulin.
is just, yep, a lot of American capitalism is a scam,
Accolade.
and
He's got
inflationally
the sugar.
artificially inflated prices for reasons of stealing money from you.
yeah.
Correct.
But yeah,
I
Also,
also-
financial institutions use the corrupt systems to rob you as well.
wow.
Wah, 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 wah.
I'll show the.
Share that screen.
I don't know if I can.
But the
know,
while you're finding that stuff out, I'll
himself and like somehow put out like a bunch of personal information they shouldn't put online.
Well, so I don't think there's actually any personal information here.
But while you're pulling that up, basically the thing I want to get at is that as much as I hate to admit it, I actually learned something from Tumblr recently, which was this RIP medical debt website, and the whole system behind it is basically they go on to explain that when hospitals ring up a charge for a procedure or a bill of some kind or any other kind of place that may need to charge you for a large sum of money, in a lot of situations, you know, if insurance doesn't cover it and the individual cannot pay the exorbitant price tag of like $80,000 for some kind of surgery, the hospital, after a certain amount of time, will just sell off the debt to a third party at a fraction of the debt's value, just so they get
so this is
some
actually
amount
just
of
how
money.
all debt works.
Right. Well, yeah, it can't.
This is
That's
what
what
debt collectors do. They purchase your debt from another company and then pursue it themselves.
Right, pursue it at its original value for as much as they can, and then if they can't get it from you, then they can keep going. And some there's like laws where it's like after a certain point your debt can't pursue you, but some fucking debt collectors will still pursue you anyways. And like they can, at least legally, before it reaches that statute, if they really wanted to, I think they could take you to court or start putting liens on like your other assets and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Which fucking ruins people's lives. But at the source of the issue is the fact that at least I'm particularly perturbed by the hospital sides of things, because that's like, you know, people's lives and they can't control when they get sick. It's
I'm
literally
trying to find the claims from my hospital visit.
They charge you an amount, right? But then they don't actually need that much money to stay afloat, because they very clearly just sell it off for a fraction of the value anyways if they don't get it back from insurance or otherwise. So they're just putting the price tag on it because either insurance will cover it, or some people are actually wealthy enough to pay.
My GP charged me $8 to prick my fucking finger.
Yeah.
I am
like that's the thing. It's like
scream.
that, like, so well, Jacob's gonna say his crazy thoughts.
No, it's fine. I'm literally this legitimately was something that's like
I'm
getting radicalized.
This is why nationalizing the health insurance market is step one.
Mm-hmm.
Private
it's kind of a deal.
private hospitals existing is also fun.
Mm-hmm.
Because a private hospital's job is to make money.
Yeah.
Instead of
serve
people.
Serving. Kind of crazy, right? Wild.
So it's, I mean, well, that's what they're talking about when they're like, all these hospitals will shut down if we implement, you know, a national health insurance system. And it's like, no, they just won't make as much money.
Good.
Wow.
Like that's what would happen.
Maybe it shouldn't be about the money when it's involving
Also,
people's
like their
lives.
argument is like, well, like how our doctor system making much money to pay off their school debt, and it's like, congratulations, you just made the argument to
like I personally
education
think
systems
that
as well.
you know, people working
Like,
as
we're
surgeons
solving
and
all the
nurses
problems.
and like working the crazy hours they do at hospitals, they deserve a good compensation. But
no,
like
I agree, but also the argument is like, well, like doctors need to have a high value because of the hours they work, but also because they have all that debt they have to pay off. And it's like, yeah, if only we had some sort of system in place to allow people to become doctors without becoming crippled for life. Pun
A lot
intended.
of states actually do have systems where you work for the government for some amount of years and you just wipe your debt.
Yes, but
Which is...
those systems have failed.
Yes,
That's
correct.
something you read about a lot, where they tell you that, and you go, "Can I have my debt forgiveness now?" And they say no, and you're like,
My aunt, who is
hold on,
57 and has $100,000 of debt still.
Yeah.
Anyways,
That one's kind of on her, but
but the so that shit's kind of fucked, and I would just like to throw out there that these guys basically they just buy that debt and then they just automatically forgive it, so then it basically just ends up not going to the fucking predatory.
I mean, I'm
debt
sure
collectors.
it's a little more complicated than that, but
yeah, but like that's the long and short of
that's
it.
kind of the gist of it.
Yeah. And so then it's just, I think it's really cool that like the amount that you donate gets orders of magnitude more effective in like relieving people of these strains for specifically medical debt in this case. But there are other organizations that help cover other types of these kind of debt deals for like credit card debt or housing debt or something like that.
Yeah. It's why actual debt assistance is important. Like it's why, you know, I'm only gonna mention her because she's the most high profile person I know who has talked about this, which is like why Elizabeth Warren spent like the last 5 years running around being like, hey guys, like that's like a fucking problem. Like there are other Democratic senators and people who did this, but like
Yeah.
when you found the CFPB, like I'm gonna give it to you.
Yeah.
Like you spent the last decade being like, hey, look, the financial institutions, they're fucked. They're screwing people over. They're literally robbing people of their money. I literally stood in front of the current president or in a Senate hearing saying, hey, we really should just like not give banks any more power, and we should probably restrict their power actually because they're ripping people off.
Yeah.
We should allow people to more easily declare bankruptcy, but also give them the financial tools in order to actually get themselves out of the cycle that financial institutions and American capitalism installs systematically in order to force them continuously in a cycle of poverty from which they can never escape.
And that's when she won her girl boss crown. Anyways, yeah, shit's fucked.
Gaslight, gatekeep,
That's it. I think it's cool. I started donating to them like the day I found out about it. Basically, I think it's particularly fucked that this is like that it's even an issue that you need to donate to like help solve what it very clearly could just not be an issue. But because it is an issue, it's something that's I think is worth.
I mean, it's why Medicare for All advocates are like, how come like the biggest health insurance system in the country is literal like GoFundMe campaigns?
Yeah, fucking why? Why? Ah. Anyways,
the insurance industry's
fun and cool stuff. Great. Hope you guys had fun with this episode. We really
also after the last year and a half, I'm gonna say it one more time. Fuck insurance companies. Those red bastards literally like fucking stole so much goddamn money this last year and a half. Fuck
kinda
those
crazy.
guys.
I have spectacular insurance. Like I literally pay $0 for all my prescriptions, which is amazing.
Mm-hmm.
But they show up as a pending claim whenever I fill a prescription.
Really?
So I went to the pharmacy a month ago, and I picked up my stuff, and I got home, and I got a notification on my phone: pending claims, $900. And I shat my pants.
Oh my god. Yeah, so hope you guys are now radicalized. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned. There might be something I stream this weekend to make up for the lack of Final Fantasy IX content. So
is it gonna be the game?
No,
that you
it's not.
played?
No,
You
you're not
fucking
getting
rat
Final
bastard.
Fantasy. You're not getting fucking Fast and Furious, the other FF game.
Fucking rat bastard.
No. Anyways,
won't play the canon Fast and Furious game.
I'm not playing
family.
it. I'm not playing it.
You're a coward.
If it shows up in my inventory, I may play it someday, but I'm not buying it. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for joining me. Stay safe out there, and until next time, peace out.